Everybody, it's Teresa. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I'm a little nervous, but today I'm gonna make today is Sunday, March 26th, so I hope to post this video very soon. I love to watch those videos when they make the big batches of breakfast freezer meals. Well, I can't make the big batch. I don't have room for them, and plus we can't eat that many. But this is kind of a big batch for me, and I want to do it all in the oven. So I already did some of the meat. But I thought, let me video this because, you know, a lot of people do big batches, but there's also people that do small batches. So I like to eat breakfast sandwiches sometimes for supper. And also I like to give some to my dad. He said that they're the best breakfast sandwiches he ever had. I hope everybody's doing really well with everything that's going on today. I try not to let it make me go crazy, but sometimes I feel like I just have to get out of the house and go in the car or something. But anyway, try to relax. I haven't been really cooking anything very new lately. I've been cooking some of the same things, and some of the same things I thought I should just do a what's for dinner video or something and turn the camera on, because you know I never cook the same thing. I never cooked the same, how do I say it? I never cooked the same way twice. I never used the same recipe twice. I always, because I don't really write it down, I just kind of cook as I go. Well, today we're going to try to make, and I don't measure anything. I just cook some stuff, make the breakfast sandwiches, and see how it comes out. And usually I'm lucky. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the new subscribers I have and the ones that always watch. I appreciate you guys so much. I missed you so much. I'm so sorry I haven't made a video. I really need to. It's very good for me, actually. It's just been a little rough lately, but everything's getting better. So I'm very happy about that. Just a lot of prayers. And you have to trust in God, and I truly believe that. So, let me show you what I've done so far, and let's hope that the eggs come out. I made these sausage patties out of a Jimmy Dean hot sausage pack. I tell you what, I have the hardest time making the patties big enough to fit the English muffins. These were so big, and this is how much they shrunk. I just did them in the oven. And I did some bacon, and I might not use it all, but I have the English muffins. I have this brand. These are soft. And I also have this Great Value brand that I've used before. They're pretty good, and they have to be refrigerated, but they're good. So so I've already done this part. I also have some Canadian bacon in the refrigerator. I don't know if I might have bought the wrong size, but anyway, we'll make it work. So let me show you the egg. Sometimes I acquire more eggs than I should because I think, oh, I'm going to bake this and that. Also this. I was going to make a frozen dessert with that, and anyway, I still might. But I kind of felt guilty for making something so fattening. So I like my eggs rich and creamy, and I like to use cheese slices. You can use whatever you want. You don't have to use any at all. I've never cooked them in this kind of pan before. And last time I made them, I'll tell you what, I made a mistake. I put on convection. I don't think they bake well with the fan on. So I turned it off, and I turned my oven down because I baked my meat at 375 convection. So I was waiting for my oven to come down, let my eggs kind of get a little bit of the chill off. I'm using these eggs today, and I find that the brown eggs, sometimes I don't usually do this on my stove, by the way, but there's more light here. So I think I'm going to put a paper towel down because I don't want to get egg on my stove. These glass top stoves are kind of hard to keep clean. Let's see if I can do this. See, sometimes the brown eggs just don't crack as well as and I'm using 10 eggs. And if some of the breakfast sandwiches don't get eggs, that's okay, because Ella sometimes doesn't want the egg. Or I could make a scrambled egg. I'll have one of those egg circles, you know, that you cook in the pan, like McDonald's, but mine doesn't work well. If the egg seeps out, then you got to put water in there, put a lid on it. We don't like our yolks running. Anyway, I drink kombucha tea for breakfast. So I've been up I haven't been sleeping well, for one thing. But I like to wake up really early. I love it, actually. I like these eggs. No shells so far. If they're room temperature, I always get shells in them. So, I don't know how they're going to work in that pan. I usually don't make this, well, I don't even know if this is enough for that pan. We're going to have to just see. If I have to pour it out of the pan, I don't care. I sprayed the pan with that pan flour. Okay, let me rinse my hand. pans. All right. Let me get rid of these. And you could put, I don't like to put cheddar cheese because I like real cheddar and it's a little greasy. You always want to smell this. Make sure it's still good. I'm going to put that much in. I wish I could use more of it. I can also make butter or freeze it. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper. The sausage and the bacon's salty already. So I don't, and the cheese. So I don't put too much salt. And this is kosher salt. I also have the pink Himalayan salt. I also have this thing. Brad brought me, I needed a pepper grinder. And I tell you what, I don't care for it very much. But that's all I have right now. I'm just going to put a little pinch. I've made them with croissants before. I've made them with English muffins. I don't know. I just like having them in the freezer. And I like sharing. And there's nothing to do really but cook and eat. So you got to be careful. You don't want to eat it too much. I love black pepper. See, you have to, and then you take it off. And then sometimes I can't get the thing back on there because I don't have enough. There you go. Lucky today. Yeah, I don't know if I have the right pan or enough eggs, but I have plenty of eggs. So I hope everybody has what they need. And like I said, I really missed you guys. I like to beat them up pretty good, but you don't want to beat them up too much because they get kind of a little too fluffy sometimes. But you kind of want to make sure the egg and the white, the yolk and the whites mix really, really well. You could use milk. You could use whatever you want. Half and half milk. I used to use water because I saw on TV one time that it said it makes it fluffier, but it doesn't. And I love scrambled eggs the best. But I like to put it on these pans and then cut it out into circles. And whatever's extra we eat, or if I have pieces, I just put it on the sandwich if I need more eggs. These are Velveeta slices. I'm surprised my dog Peanut. Usually when he hears the cheese wrapper, he comes in the kitchen. But he's so lazy lately. Ella walked him a couple times this week, but some days I think he just doesn't feel well. He's about, I think he's 7.5. He's a Shih Tzu. He's bad too. He can have an attitude. And I definitely, you don't want to overfill this pan, especially when you're shaky like me. Oh, I left the cheese out too long. You don't want the eggs to spill in your oven for sure. But I turn my oven to 335, by the way. You could probably do 350. I probably will move it to 350. I think 350 is a good temperature. Let's change it. It's probably already there. I got cheese on my finger. I don't know if this is enough eggs for that pan. Let me get a couple more. I added 3 more and just a splash of heavy cream. And my oven did beep at 350 because it was pretty hot. So this is, this is a half sheet pan. I have several of these, and I tell you what, these are my favorite pans. Sometimes I use all of them, and at the same time. I have 4 out right now. I think I have 5 or 6, but I sprayed it and I put parchment paper. The parchment paper might not be necessary. You could put butter. When I've scrambled my eggs on the stove, I put a little butter in the pan. But let's pour it in and see. I don't want them too thick and I don't want them too thin. So let's just see. And if people like green onions in my house, I love green onions and eggs, but nobody does. That looks like it's gonna work pretty well. Doesn't have to be perfect, just make it work. So I'm not sure how long these are gonna bake, but I'm gonna put them on the middle rack. At least they're not gonna spill over. Oh, what I was gonna say is these are half sheet pans. I don't have a full sheet pan, but this would go, I don't have anywhere to put it. But you could put the half sheet pan on the full size sheet pan if you weren't worried about spilling over. But I don't own one of those because I don't ever bake that big of a. I scrubbed my stove this morning and that cleaner leaves white stuff. This crack right here in the stove, I don't know if you can see it. it gets that white chalk stuff in there from when I clean it. I'll put the timer on for about 10 minutes. I do like to rotate my pans because my oven is a little uneven. So next thing we're gonna do is cut the English muffins in half, and I'm not very good at that either. But we're gonna do our bread pack. The refrigerator pack was easier. This is my bread knife. You could put well, I don't know how thick my sandwiches are gonna be, but I have to double wrap them to make sure that they stay okay. These are really soft. These are like less than half the price of this brand. One day I have some English muffin rings. One day I'm gonna try to make some. Oh, I did try a recipe that I don't know if you guys watched my last cinnamon roll video, but the method of the baking the bread was a lot different when you make the flour paste. Well, I did rolls that way. When I tell you those things were so good, I did them twice. My school cafeteria used to make the best homemade bread, and they were the closest I've ever come to that. They were the softest, and the next day they were still soft and fluffy. I mean fluffy, just beautiful. Those were the prettiest things I've ever had. I did it twice. I have not videoed it because the dough is so sticky that it's very hard to work with. But I'm gonna do a video on it and it only makes a 9-inch cake pan, which doesn't make too many. So it's a great recipe because that way we ate all of them. You could roll them into a ball, and they have this method where you roll them in an oval and then you roll them up and they come out really pretty. Oh, and I also did it 3 times. I did one in a loaf pan where you roll them out in the oven, you roll them up, and then you have 3 of the rolls in the loaf pan together, and you let them rise, and they bake all together. Oh my goodness. I can't believe how good it is the next day. It's so good. And there's a lot of videos on that bread on YouTube. But I just kind of made up my own recipe. I don't like to follow recipes because dough is so different for everyone. It depends on the flour you use. It depends on the weather you have. There's so many variables. So I just kind of go by the feel of it, the way it looks. That's how it, and I wrote down what I did actually this time, so I remember it because it was so delicious. These are way softer. They look kind of funny. I guess I'm not used to this one. I usually buy the cheap Great Value ones. The bacon is Great Value Applewood smoked bacon also, but I usually buy the right bacon. But I saw that bacon a few months ago, and it was in the freezer, and defrosted it. So now I'm going to take these, and I melted some salted butter. I'm just going to brush a little bit of butter. I'm going to toast these in the oven. These are going to be totally made in the oven. It's just easy. And it's actually a little cool this morning. It's lovely because it's already heating up here. And anyway, I just wanted it to be easy. So I did it all in the oven. And so we'll see. Here's my butter. I didn't measure it. It's a few tablespoons. But here's the butter. And I'm just going to take a little bit. It just adds a little color and flavor to your English muffins. And I prefer salted butter for things like this. I know some people are so against salted butter. I buy both, though. And that's all I'm going to do. But I'm going to turn the oven up for the bread when the eggs come out. It doesn't take long to heat up. You could put these in the toaster. You could not toast them at all if you didn't want to. But I find the texture and the flavor is a little better when you butter them and get a little color. And did I mention that these breakfast sandwiches are not diet? Like I said, they have protein in them, which is very good. And we don't eat them often. And I think it's better than buying fast food, in my opinion, because you're making it homemade. So, anyway, I don't usually give my opinion too much, but that's my opinion for today. So, I'll be back and show you the eggs. My eggs. Well, I don't know if this pan's uneven or my oven's uneven, but this side is thicker than this side. I probably should have used a little bit more eggs, but and my cheese didn't. I guess that's how it does in the oven. I never did it this thin before, but it'll work. And I'm going to cut them out. I sometimes use a biscuit cutter, but I have this little plastic cutter, and I'm just going to try to cut as many. Let's see. Let me see what they look like. Oh, that's perfect. That's okay. That's a good. I'll show you the thickness. If you can see that, that's not too thin. It's a little thin over here, but it'll work. So they took about 14 minutes, and I made sure they were really well. We like them really well cooked. So some people don't, but anyway, I don't know. My cheese didn't. You know what you could do? You could mix it a little bit while it's cooking in the oven. Maybe I should have done that. Like when it started cooking just a little bit, mixed it again, and the cheese. But it's okay, and it's gonna taste good. Look at all the pepper. Wow. 425 convection. I'm gonna put the buttered English muffins in there for a few minutes. You can do it under the broiler too. I just want to do it under convection today. Almost everything. I guess I need to. If these cabinets weren't in the way, I could like really get a good view, but it's hard. Anyway, I'll also put slices of cheese on it. And they didn't take long to toast. I just like to get them a little toasted. They're just buttery. So I put them all on this pan. I'm gonna make 2 with ham, and the eggs are right here. Cut them in circles. So let me show you. I like to. Ella doesn't. What do you want, Ella? Forgot.
Sausage and cheese. No.
Sausage. The sausage. Look, Ella, I finally succeeded with the patty size.
I might take out the egg.
She might take out the egg, so.
Just put it on anyway,
Just-
so we have a perfect amount.
Just eat it separately. You could do double meat on these too. You know that?
Yeah.
That's what Burger King does. You can get 2 kinds of meat. So then we just take this. Are you gonna eat this one, or I'm gonna wrap it?
Oh yeah, I'll eat it.
I want to show them how to wrap it. So I like this. A press and seal. Oh, good idea. Okay, make another one. She wants to eat that one. I like the idea of the bacon too. These are gonna be the best breakfast sandwiches you've ever seen. And I needed to use this ham, so that's why I'm putting it on this. And I love the ham with the croissants. I guess it's probably good with the English muffin too. But
Egg first.
it doesn't matter really. And we just pop them. I wrap them in press and seal. Yeah, that's good. I wrap them in press and seal, and then I wrap them in Reynolds, those foil sheets. I'll show you. I don't know if you know that channel, Chickens by the Lake. It's one of my favorite channels. I've been watching them for a long time. And Michelle is a good country cook. She's awesome, and she's so fun to watch. She makes you smile. But she's the one that told me about freezing stuff in press and seal. It stays better longer. Because the press and seal, and you can also use the press and seal to heat it up in the microwave. Now, don't heat it up with the aluminum foils. I don't really know if this is necessary, but I like to double wrap it. Excuse me. Like this. I love these foil sheets, but I might run out. And you could wrap them like fancy if you want to. I don't even know if you can see this. Probably not. It's been a while since I made a video, so I'm gonna practice. I know just wrap them like this. I was gonna mark it, and then I'm gonna put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And how long do you heat them, Ella?
I heat them about a minute, 30 seconds, sometimes longer if they need it.
About a minute, 30 seconds. I like to heat mine up a little bit and then open it up. Oh, perfect. She marked it. Sometimes we don't even mark them. It's just a surprise. Whatever you open, you get.
Yeah.
But today we're going to mark them because she didn't want the ham. I'll eat those later. These are, they're so delicious. And it's so convenient to have them in the freezer. And you can buy them. You can buy them already made. They're not as, they're not as good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is easy, and they are expensive. Brad and I figured out the cost one day using the Great Value English muffins. I don't know, I forgot. It's okay. I don't know. It's probably the first one we made. I don't remember. Already messed up. I don't even know if you can see me wrapping it. I'll show you one more.
I'm gonna guess it's sausage.
So, we are in a parish where there's not many cases. We are in Louisiana, for people that don't know where I'm from or live. And New Orleans is...
Bacon and sausage, it's so good.
Okay, New Orleans is not doing well, but our parish, as far as we know, that's what they're telling us, doesn't have hardly any cases. We're trying to stay home as much as we can. I live so close to Walmart. And sometimes I have to get a prescription, and I just run in and run out. you know, and you have to wash your hands all the time, over and over. Your counters, I do everything, my steering wheel, my door handle. So I know some things are really hard to get, like toilet paper. Here is really hard to get. I went to Kroger this morning and they actually had some, but there's a limit on it. But that's everywhere I see. I've been watching some interesting videos about people talking about the limits and stuff. But, oh, and for those of you wondering, my husband, when he broke his collarbone, he's healing up really nicely. He went to a job, but he's safe and healthy, and he's not exposed. So we're very blessed that he does have a job. He was off for quite a while, so we really needed his job. But Ella's doing well. She's out of school. Everybody's out of school. This is bacon and sausage, I think. Anyway, I'm not going to show you me wrapping all of them. I'm just trying to catch up with you, trying to visit with you. Like I said, these are a lot of fun to make. I love cooking, and it's hard to cook for 2 people. Just for Ella and I. And it's even hard for me to cook for 3. Sometimes I cook more on purpose because I do like leftovers. Some days, lately, I'm just not in the mood to cook, if you can believe that or not, which makes me really sad because I love cooking. But I'm starting to get my passion back, which is wonderful. So hopefully I'll be bringing a lot more videos. So anyway, I'm gonna quit talking and I'll show you how we bag them up and freeze them. I had some Canadian bacon also. So I'm gonna we did a couple with Canadian bacon, and the eggs worked out just right. And we were double meating it, so we used a little bit of Canadian bacon too. But Ella's eating one with the sausage and bacon. She said it's delicious, the best one she's ever had. It's gotta be. Look at all the good ingredients on it. Anyway, I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Canadian bacon is this one's probably very low in fact. She's got a little cheese on it, but it's a lot smaller, you can see. And I have to get some foil. I ran out of foil sheets. They wouldn't all fit in this 2-gallon Ziploc bag, but I just put them in here. Ella labeled them for me. And we're just going to stick them in the freezer. Like I said, when you can heat them. You can also heat them in the oven and air fryers. But I like to take the foil off, heat them in the microwave for just a little while, take the press and seal off, and then I like to split mine open. But the egg is the perfect thickness, I think. And sometimes the egg, I think, heats up differently. And I have a tiny bit of the egg left, but that's the egg that was on the edge of the pan. It was too thin, actually. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed our deluxe breakfast sandwiches. I'm going to give some to my brother and my dad. They love them also. So they were a lot of fun to make, and I did everything in the oven. You don't have to. You can do it on the stove or whatever, but I just wanted to use the oven today. And anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that I make a video again soon. And if you have, well, I don't know if I'm going to say if you have a request, but if you like certain ones I make, maybe you can ask me and maybe I'll think about it. I'll try because I love to make new things. Anyway, I love you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Try these breakfast sandwiches. They're delicious. And I will talk to you soon. And Ella loves you guys.
I love you guys.
And we really miss you. And we'll be back very, very soon.